Ancient North Galaxy, the planet of Saiyan primates. All the Saiyans celebrated that victory had been given and 0 deaths occurred for the Saiyan side due to the dragons being slain by the one who was considered a dragon slayer. A young man with black hair, grey fighter's clothing that was considered a true warrior. That young man who wanted to fight any enemy and always believed he was going to win. At that moment, Yamoshi showed his real power. Everyone spoke. Yamoshi is the great savior of all. Yamoshi has the power needed to successfully bring peace to our people. We know that we are going to be able to get stronger. We don't want to attack anyone. We know that we will only fight to bring peace to our planet. At that moment, Yamoshi says, "You don't have to worry. You can rest easy here. You are with me, and with me, nobody will do you any harm. I'm really going to show all my power. My skills are incredible. I'm sure I'll get stronger every time. Whatever dragon you want can come. I'll solve the situations here myself." At that moment, in a few moments, we can perceive a gigantic light that reaches the planet of Galaxy 4 in front of Yamoshi. Everyone starts watching. At that moment, a being with grey hair and bluish skin of short stature appears in front of Yamoshi. Yamoshi watches and speaks. "To what do I owe your visit? Are you my enemy, or who are you?" The being with blue skin and grey hair says, "Let's see if we don't have several dead dragons here. You all fought those dragons." Yamoshi watches and speaks. "No one had to fight here. I ended up with all of them myself." Yamoshi starts looking and staring at the being with grey hair and blue skin. At that moment, the being with blue skin says, "Much pleasure. I've been watching you for a long time, Yamoshi. I am Daishinkan of the Heavenly Guardian of the Supreme Being, Zeno-sama." At this time, Daishinkan was not yet the Great Priest. He was just a powerful angel who fought on behalf of all angels. Alright partner, why don't you whack that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos and stay well connected to our entire universe of Z Warriors. Let's get back to the point. Yamoshi watched Daishinkan and started to laugh. Yamoshi says, "What? Are you with that stature helping Zeno-sama's guards? Who do you think you are?" At that moment, Daishinkan starts laughing and says, "Allow me to show you some of my power." At that moment, the Saiyan's entire planet begins to shudder. Yamoshi watches with a straight face and says, "What? This guy is really strong. Looks like he's making me excited to fight." Daishinkan watches and speaks. "I didn't come here to fight. I came here to say that I really need you to come to my side, Yamoshi. I've been watching all your struggles and I can see that you're just looking for peace in these places, aren't you? You're just trying to save everything and everyone. So don't think that things turned out like that. The dragons want to cause a rebellion and destroy everything alongside the other allied races in the middle of the celestial wars. If powerful beings like you don't resolve the side, they will help. Things can get even more complicated." At that moment, Yamoshi observes Daishinkan and speaks. "I don't know why you are saying this. The only thing I want to protect is my planet. He knows. I don't care if all the planets are destroyed as long as my race remains here. You guys don't know why you care either. The angels for millennia have always been considered privileged races by all. Why do you need our help now?" The High Priest says, "The angels, even having a privilege of the gods, never got involved and tried to stop the free will of mortals. This is something the dragons will do if you resolve not to turn against the dragons. Soon, your race will be dominated and enslaved by several other races. Record what I'm talking about." At that moment, the High Priest starts to face Yamoshi and Yamoshi makes a serious face. All the other Saiyans stare. A great light appears directly on the Saiyan's planet. At that moment, Yamoshi says, "Another friend of yours arriving?" Daishinkan responds, "In fact, I don't even know who's here." At that moment, we can see a being with greenish skin and big horns. Zephyr appears in front of Yamoshi and Daishinkan. Zephyr says, "How dare you attack my army? How did you do that?" At that moment, Yamoshi observes and speaks. "Let's see if the commander of everything is not here." The great priest, after looking at Zephyr, realized that in that dragon there were no evil attitudes. Daishinkan watches and says, "Why can't I see evil in this dragon? What is he doing here? He really wanted to be here." Yamoshi says, "It was I myself who attacked the dragons. They came to want to end my race here, and I had done nothing, so it doesn't matter to me. If you came here, it's because you want to die too." At that moment, Zephyr begins to reflect and thinks, "If the dragons hadn't attacked the Saiyans, none of this would have happened. I don't feel any harm towards them, but I can't let my brother down." At that moment, Zephyr teleports and appears from behind Yamoshi. Yamoshi says, "What? What power is this? This guy is totally different from everyone else." Zephyr starts landing several blows on Yamoshi. Yamoshi begins to have great difficulty dodging. All Saiyans are impressed and say, "How is this possible? Master Yamoshi defeated all those dragons, but this dragon is fighting in an entirely different way. Why is this happening?" At that moment, Yamoshi begins to receive several blows, and Zephyr, with great ease, ends up humiliating Yamoshi in front of everyone. Daishinkan just watches, trying to analyze Zephyr's behavior. The moment Yamoshi was falling to the ground, everyone starts to analyze and talk. "This guy managed to defeat Master Yamoshi in just moments. This is practically surreal. How did he manage to do this?" Zephyr, with a serious face, says, "I'm sorry, but that will be the final blow." As Zephyr prepares to eliminate Yamoshi, Yamoshi's body starts turning silver and his hair changes color. Daishinkan starts to smile and says, "So is it really true?" Yamoshi begins to dodge and move much more deftly. Daishinkan observes and speaks, "The Ultra Instinct." At that moment, a superior form of Saiyan God begins to appear over Yamoshi's body. Yamoshi in a few moments lands several blows on Zephyr, making Zephyr fall to the ground. Zephyr says, "Well, does that mean then, what was it? Was it my destiny to die here? Maybe it was better that way. Finally, the wars will end, at least for me." Just as the uncontrolled Yamoshi was about to land the last blow on Zephyr, Daishinkan holds his hand and says, "That's enough. Now you two are kids. He didn't want to kill you at one point, and now you will spare him too, Yamoshi." Zephyr watches the high priest and speaks. "Why are you saving me?" The great priest smiles and says, "Because you yourself being a dragon, you are not our enemy. Let's fight this heavenly war together." Back to current times, Goku and Vegeta start watching and talk. "As well? You mean after all that, you became friends with the great priest?" Zephyr says, "Good. It was something like that. After that, I started talking to all of my brother Zalama's plans. As time went by, I actually became the Dragon God of War, and I began to train my powers more and more because I took pleasure in battles. But this time, I fought alongside the Great Priest and everyone else. I was considered the traitor by my race, and my entire race swore vengeance against me. But at one point, it still continued. At the time of the Celestial War, the Great Priest came face to face with Zakai, who had entered into an agreement with Zalama. At that moment, the Great Priest was at a great disadvantage and he needed the help of a great friend to be able to fight against the two. Daishinkan and Yamoshi fought together against Zakai and Zalama. To be continued. So, my partner, what do you believe and what do you imagine about all of this? Many battles will start to happen in the face of all this fighting. Regardless of what it is, it's more than important that you share your thoughts in the comments below so that we can get into a crazy debate. Whack that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. That's all there is to it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.